Welcome to the Wealth Matters podcast, where investors come together to better understand how to build passive cash flow and create generational wealth without all the confusing mumbo-jumbo. Here's your host and co-author of Amazon #1 bestseller, Alpesh Parmar.
Welcome to Wealth Matters podcast. This is the Monday experiment edition. And by this time, you would have known that I am an adventurous investor. I like to try. I love to understand what others are doing. And also, there is a lot of downside to that because I run after shiny objects. That's called shiny objection syndrome. Most of the entrepreneurs have it, and some grow over it, some are not able to. Someone like me who can't grow over it, but now I focus on certain investment types, right? So most of my portfolio, as I have mentioned before, is in real estate, and those investments I focus on two things: cash flow and tax benefits. Those are the two things I always want to see in my core investments. Of course, then other than that, I would invest in startups, cryptos. My 401k is in stocks, which is being managed by professional fund managers. So I personally don't like to invest in stocks, but I'm not asking you guys to just follow me. And if you love stocks, go ahead and invest, but diversify yourself. Remember, if something happens in other part of the world, stock market corrects here in US or in Canada or wherever you are. That's how connected the entire Wall Street or the stock market is. That does not happen with real estate. That is why you got to have your portfolio in real estate. Same way, some of the investments you would have made in startups and whatever, that may not correct. Even just think about when COVID hit, we thought, oh, everything's gonna stop. But grocery stores like Costco and the pharmacy stores, as well as Amazon.com, they all did really, really well, right? So focus whenever you are investing, focus on the core business and try to diversify. So that's why I always will have real estate, but of course I'll still keep trying new investments. One of the investment I tried as well, and you guys must be thinking why I'm sharing all this, because I want you guys to learn from my mistakes. And as you can tell, I have made a lot of mistakes. Again, that's because I wanted to try. It's not that I don't know about it, but I want to see if this thing works or not. And I'll talk about, I don't want to toot my horn. So most of the time on this podcast, I always talk about my failures and not my success, because that's not, what this podcast is about. Anyone can be successful. Any monkey could have made money in last 10 years in stock market or crypto and real estate, right? But there are a lot of ways for you to lose money even in those industries if you don't do it right. As I said, my very first real estate investment, or my first syndication investment, as well as my first foray into selling something. So I looked into a company called Wholesale Formula, Wholesaling Inc. By Ryan. I would put his last name as well, because they sell women clothing in wholesale for wholesale price, shoes, etc., to sellers who would like to sell on Amazon. And the way he was showing that the profitability is 100% year over year, and they are still marketing like crazy. And they said it's a hands-off business. I think it would work for someone else, but not someone like me who has a lot of businesses. Basically, I have my toes dipped in a lot of places. I cannot focus on one business. And when they said hands-free, I said, okay, let me try. I realized that it's not hands-free. So the idea is that they get bulk purchase from stores like Macy's and Nordstrom and whatnot, the seasonal items which after a while the stores are not able to sell. So this guys buy it wholesale, and then they sell it to people like us by marking up a little bit, but it's still away from the original retail price. So usually you are able to buy the same shoes or clothing for 20-30% of the retail price. and you can go on pretty much Amazon and sell, or eBay, and sell it for 50% of the retail price. That's how you make money. That's what he showed me, and I followed him, and I said, okay, let me try to do this, and I fall flat. It's very difficult. So what they do is they ship it to Amazon, they pack everything, so you never see any of this. They they upload it to Amazon as well. They set it up, but then you have to hire someone to manage the pricing strategy, right? Then you have to hire another person to do SEO, which is the search engine optimization, so that your product shows up. Then the third thing is you would need a accountant or bookkeeper to manage what was sold, at what price did you buy it at, etc., etc., as well as manage the inventory. So actually, they sell it as hands-free, or you don't have to get involved, but it's actually I needed four different people to manage that business. So I had put in over 10 grand into it. I think I basically barely got 2 or 3 grand back. I still have a lot of inventory on Amazon. Um, I think it would work, and someone who likes to sell on Amazon, or who wants to build a side hustle while doing a W-2 job, it would work. But for someone like me who has an IT consulting business, who has Wealth Matters, investment, my own investments, real podcast recording, I just don't have enough time, and I don't want to keep hiring people when I know that I cannot focus on that particular business. So if someone who is interested in taking over that side of my business, do reach out to me, and we can discuss about it. But otherwise, it was validated. The idea is that someone will buy the product from you, Amazon ships it for you, and then you get paid every month, but you got to pay Amazon the fees every year to become a seller, as well as every time Amazon sells it, they will charge you the fees to ship, as well as the charge you handling fee. On top of that, they charge you storage fees as well. So there are lots of fees on Amazon side. And so for Amazon, it's a good business. It's a good business for Ryan and his company Wholesale Inc. But it wasn't a good business for me. So that's what I learned from that business. That do your due diligence, make sure you understand the business and the area, and also look at what will happen if something like the pandemic happens. So I realized one more thing, that people were not going out, so they didn't need to buy shoes and clothing, right? But they had to buy groceries. So if you are in a grocery business, food business, pharmaceutical, then you would have done good, right? Anything online. But so long story short, I still have the inventory on that on Amazon, which I want to get rid of at some point. If someone is interested to talk to me about it, I would be more than happy to take you through the business, show what I have, and you if you want to build a side hustle, I think it's a good idea for a side hustle. It's a bad idea for someone who has 3 4 businesses, who is running around and trying to build even a lot more businesses, trying to work with a lot of startups, etc., advising startups as well. So for those people, it's not a good business to build on. I heard a good thing is about the FBA, which is how you can sell on Amazon as well, where you don't send the inventory to Amazon. So basically, you are not paying for the storage fees. The FBA means the manufacturer will directly send the product to Amazon as and when it's sold, right? So that way, the only job for you is to market and build the reputation of the brand and the store on Amazon. So that's another good idea, and that's what I was looking into it. But the problem was that everyone was trying to do FBA. Actually, I have a lot of training courses on FBA as well. And then once I did this, I realized this is not for me. I don't want to continue to do it. It's still a good business for someone who is even housewives. Let's say if someone is sitting at home, this is the best way, because you can just set up the store, and the only thing housewives will have to manage, or even house husband will have to manage, is the pricing. Maybe they can learn about SEO, search engine optimization, and even they can do the bookkeeping, right? So there are lots of things which I personally give all of this to professionals, because I was paying the SEO guy like $30 a month, not a lot, right? So he would manage all the inventory same way, or actually he was charging dollar for each item, right? So it only needed to do it once. Then I was paying the bookkeeper $30 a month to manage everything. So pretty much, I think it's not a bad model. It didn't work for me, but do your due diligence thoroughly and make sure you want to do this. But by building a side hustle, you will learn one thing, that you have to run that business as if it's yours. You are not just a W-2 employee. So, you would definitely learn a lot of lessons, and somehow, if it works out, you can build a bigger business out of it, right? And side hustle will also give you a capability to write off certain expenses. So maybe your business starts producing income. Now you can start writing off expenses from that business. So that's about it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe and like on YouTube, as well as leave a review on iTunes. Thank you so much. Keep listening to Wealth Matters.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Matters podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes so others can enjoy the show too. Have a great week and happy investing!